Hello, it's Roldan. Doing a little self-interview from one of the local parks in not far from my neighborhood. A nice quiet setting, relatively. There's some basketball players and kids behind me, so if you hear a scream or a yell, or hopefully no curse words, but hey, it is, there's life. That's life. Had a thought on my mind that I wanted to share, and it has to deal with the concept of being ready to teach spiritual conscious work, or just awareness. Just how do you model awareness for other people? And it's been a conflict for a friend of mine who is a member of a group that she goes to, and she feels oftentimes when she's there, her goal is to teach these people something more than perhaps their intent to learn, I suppose. And coming to this group, it is a self-help group, excuse me, and she's been a member of it for a while, and she's very close with some of the people. However, what happens oftentimes in these types of groups is that birds of a feather flock together, and people that are in pain or in hurting or looking for solace in a very specific situation, which they all share, a characteristic in their lives that they all share. It's certainly well to gather in that space and talk about the problems and the challenges that each have. And it's a way for them to, of course, connect in a way to other people that they don't feel so alone within their struggle. And we all have been through that, through one thing or another, whether it's dealing with addiction to alcohol or drugs, perhaps for some people, a weight issue, so you join a weight loss group, or newly single, parents, fathers or mothers join. So it is certainly a place where we can gather to help one another. But one of the struggles that my friend has is that when she's there, she's wanting so much to teach more of what she's learned versus what the program is there to offer. And my advice to her, or my suggestion I should say, is that when we are called to share something that we know that we think might be helpful with other people, it doesn't always mean that it's going to be received in the way that we intend it to be. People's ideas often change very slowly, and unless they're willing to actively go into a space with a completely open mind and a sense of surrender, oftentimes the information received will only be as much as they're willing to receive. In fact, that's the truth for all things. We only hear what we're willing to hear. We only see what we're willing to see, be that about ourselves or about other people. And one of the things that I've learned in terms of me constantly in motion of being an avid student of life and of self-awareness and of the greater spiritual consciousness and consequences of my actions in this lifetime, to a point where I'm actually offering up the things that I've learned and the intuitive knowing that I've been able to have the gift to receive from all types of sources, be it here within this plane or that which is beyond ours, where we're from, is that the greatest amount of teaching that I could actually ever do is with my actions. Meaning that we must be able to model, even without words, to those around us, because it's so easy in this world for us to say one thing and do another. Recently went through a conflict of my own, where in a personal relationship, many things in terms of who I am is put out, that, the honesty and the integrity. And however, I had a moment where my ego got in the way, and it was my ego of fear. and of doubt about a certain situation that caused me to act in a way that was completely unlike the conscious being that I am every day wanting to emulate and to be. The irony of that situation is that I hadn't actually experienced that type of fear in quite some time, about 4 years, and it was prior to me actually doing some major self-awareness work. And I was observing it even in myself and of myself from a third-party standpoint. I was telling a friend of mine, I can see everything happening. I can see the ego taking over. I can see the fears and doubts taking place. And yet I couldn't, for some reason, stop it. And with that awareness, I knew then and there that also it was going to show me something even greater in the end. And sure enough, it did. So, that in and of itself was a lesson. However, going forward, I was able to, from that point to now, realize that even during that situation, I was able to be only the best model that I could be through that situation. And having conversations with the person that it involved and sharing the awareness and the knowing that came after it was something that was a part of my honesty and integrity standpoint. And I could say that I am sorry for the event, but I'm not. I'm sorry that someone else might have gotten hurt in that process, but also too realizing that all things happen for a reason. I also know that there was a purpose to serve the other. So, as constant students and teachers of becoming awake and aware and conscious, it is important for us to remember that our actions do speak more loudly than the words. And oftentimes, it is only our actions and not our words that are the greatest teachers. So I wanted to offer that up and out. I welcome your feedback and comments on that. And I appreciate you coming here. Thank you very much. And we'll talk to you again soon. So long for now.